after he won. He had gone through this grueling campaign. He had worked so hard, it had been difficult. And then he won, and I think I expected him to then be at his highest, his best, feeling great. And I thought the reaction didn't match my expected reaction. You know, joy, relief. He seemed extra sad after winning, and to me, I knew that was very concerning.
That's just part of Elizabeth Vargas' interview with Gisele Fetterman, wife of the Pennsylvania senator. Some believe she single-handedly saved his Senate run after Fetterman's stroke. His wife took on a role of protector, interpreter, rarely leaving his side, often speaking for him in interviews. Now, Fetterman is back in the Senate after nearly 6 weeks of hospitalization for depression. He hasn't given an interview since being actually back in the Senate, but as you have seen, his wife just did. Emily Jashinsky is here of the Federalist. Good to see you, Emily. Thank you. I don't know. Are we right to expect and ask a senator's wife to play this role?
No, I don't think so at all. And I think that's one of the unfortunate things about John Fetterman's candidacy and his young term in the upper chamber here. I mean, he was a really, really strong candidate. That stroke was obviously tragic, but he managed to win despite, you know, some media attention on his illness, but I think in large part, you know, you had that NBC News interview. I don't know if you remember the one with Dasha Burns, where she was a little bit tough on that question before the election of his health. Gisele Fetterman said that she should have, quote, consequences, that Dasha Burns should have faced, quote, consequences for that interview. And so I think it's just a good reminder that this is a bad situation all around. It's not particularly fair to the people of Pennsylvania, especially since they elected John Fetterman. I mean, before his debate with Dr. Oz, some 500,000 votes had already been cast. That's actually bigger than the margin that he won by. So I think all around, it's just a really unfortunate situation, both for the Fettermans, but for the people of Pennsylvania, too.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, just from a perspective of fairness, really, why it is continuing in the way it is, and if at some point they're being treated differently. I know she made herself out to be the victim, sort of, and him to be the victim during her interview with Elizabeth Vargas. But if the real sort of victims, for lack of a better term, aren't the people of Pennsylvania?
Right. And again, that should be the media's, and it should be the journalists who are covering this story. That should be front of mind. Their job is to hold people in positions of power accountable for what they say. So John Fetterman, Gisele Fetterman in particular, on the campaign trail, said that he was perfectly fit to serve. The public got an example of that on a silver platter, both in the Dasha Burns interview and then in the debate with Dr. Oz that so many people watched. Of course, after having voted, I'm sure many of them would have changed their votes, although it's hard to say. And yet the press continues, I think, to make excuses, if anything, for both of them, and to lavish Gisele Fetterman in particular with praise, rather than saying, well, hold on a second, is this fair to the people of Pennsylvania who need a duly elected representative in the Senate to do their business, but who appears to be seriously incapacitated to the point where decisions are being outsourced to people other than the man who was elected?
Yeah, and he's spoken himself at length about how much he relies on his chief of staff. Emily, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.